Okay, we're back at it. So, got the Oliver with my corn planter. Oliver 1650 gas job and an Oliver 543 no-till corn planter, 4-row, set to 30 inches. I just got the top field done over here. Kind of screwed up. We got about a quarter of the way through the field, maybe a little more, and realized that let's see if I can find it. We had the wrong seed plate in. So yeah, right here. There's 2 seeds. It was double planting them. Only on some spots. We thought it was maybe like we'd hit like a weird spot on the ground or dump 2. I don't know. But we noticed about a quarter of the way through the field that we were going through a lot of seed. So we stopped, dumped it out, and realized we had the wrong seed in there, the wrong plate I should say. Swapped that out, and we're right back where we should be now. So it all looks good. I got 1 bag left over there, so I'm gonna probably fill these up. This field here I'm a little worried about because this is the center field that I had the problem with all the root clumps and whatnot. It is a no-till planter, but it did have some issues over there. It was kind of laying the seed on top of the ground. It wasn't putting it in some spots when I got into some real clumpy shit. So kind of gonna do a trial run on this field. If it's real bad, we'll come back in with the offsets again, hit it again. All this broadleaf stuff right here, I mean, it's popping up everywhere. Man, that's in there too. Wow. Well, we are spraying all this. I actually pulled the sprayer out today to see what we're gonna have to use to go through that. It's gonna need some hydraulic hoses. Whoever we got it from, they used hydraulic hose for the product tube. So I don't know if we're gonna just replace the hose. I can do that at work. Just get all the hoses made up for it. Or we can just put like a barbed fitting on the, pull the hose out, put a pipe end in one end, and then barb fitting the other, and just run like a garden hose type deal. So, got to figure that out. But this field's definitely going to have to get sprayed. There's a lot of broadleaf, especially far corner down there. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but there's a lot of broadleaf right there. So, probably should have moldboarded this instead of chisel plowed it, but we had the moldboard elsewhere, the other side of town, doing some fields down there, so it is what it is. The seed we're using is I believe it's an 84-day variety. This is Hybrid 85. I used it last year. I had pretty good luck with it, and it's a hell of a lot cheaper than like the Roundup Ready stuff. So yeah, it's Hybrid 23X84, 84-day variety. So if everything gets planted today, should be good to go by, it was like middle of August, I think, which is awesome because then, that's when it hits maturity. Give it a month or 2 to dry down. Might not even need my dryer this year. So I'm gonna put the corn in and we'll get going. field, like I said, that one's all set. I made a quick pass diagonally through like all the trash and whatnot in the field just to make sure it would go through it. And it did, no problem, so we should be good to go. All the seagulls looking to pull the seed out of the ground. So that was the last bag we had here. We're supposed to be putting 4 bags of corn in, so hopefully I got enough to finish up these next 2 fields here without having to dig into my supply for the next field I have up the road. But I got a couple bags in my house from last year. We can put that back in if need be. About doing here is when we go to spray, that sprayer we're going to use has a 50-foot boom on it, and I'm probably going to have to mow down the headlands a little more so we have enough room to spin that thing around in without making a mess at the end of the field. So I did mow all this. That's actually my rag sitting there in the weeds, but I did mow all this back down, so I'll see if I can come back through and mow this back a little further if I can, to give us a little more room for the headlands. All right, just doing another check. I went through some trash over here. I just want to make sure that the seed's not ending up on top of the ground. Like right there. Kick that in. I mean, it looks like it's going in. I don't see anything sitting around, so like right here actually. And that's sitting on top. That's on top. And I mean, it's not going to be perfect. It's an old plate planter, so you can't expect it to be on par with like some of the newer stuff, finger pickup and anything like that. It does a good enough job for what it is, but look at that. Onion, garlic, I think it's garlic. This all used to be vegetables, this whole field right here. Oh, another one right there. But no, we're looking good. I don't see some seed right there. I think we got rain coming in tomorrow too, so that'll kind of help push it down, I would imagine. But I'll just keep checking on this as I go. You know, if I'm going to have a problem, it's not going to be here. It's going to be further in. Because what they did was when Escobars came in to bale off that field and the one over there, he was planning on baling this one as well, but it was all parsley, all cow parsley, which is basically this stuff right here. And it wasn't going to make good hay, so he left it. And then I went through, brush hogged it all down. Before I brush hogged, though, he had windrowed all this, so he went through, picked up the windrow, and then ran the heavy harrow through this. So this section of the field, the outside pass of the field, is going to be the best because it's been harrowed a couple times. Where we're going to run into issues is going to be everywhere else here. So I don't expect there to be any problems with right here, like I'm saying, but in there in the field, it's probably going to be an issue. So if we have one at all. So I'll just keep an eye out. So a bit of an issue I'm having here is this ground is so rough and there's so much like grass residue. It's kind of, I mean, you can kind of see it on the camera, but the marker row that I'm putting down is kind of hard to follow. But moving along, about halfway through this field here. Probably going to come down with a backpack sprayer, Roundup, just spot spray it. Just to get all this killed off before the corn gets, you know, before the corn emerges. All right, slight issue. I hopped off to check and see what the deal was, how we were planting. The first row I came to, I couldn't see any seed in there, so I started walking back, checking the chains, and this drive chain, I should say. It's all coiled up on there, so that ain't right. I don't know if the master broke loose or what the hell happened, but it grabbed the tensioner and pulled it right up. This here is supposed to be clipped on like that. So, see if I can free that up. I don't know when that happened, which sucks. So, we were checking them about halfway through this field, so I mean, it could have happened recently, but the tractor's so loud that I probably didn't hear anything snap. I'm glad I stopped when I did. Bringing it back to the truck. I got my tools over there, but I'm probably, I'd say 3 passes up, and there's seed right here, and it looks like it stops probably 10 feet down, so it broke somewhere over there. So I'm going to mark this row, and I'll restart here and come back up. Now the seed right here, it's not doing a great job putting it in the ground here, unfortunately. There's so many dips in this field that just not putting it down where it has to be. I don't know if that's going to screw me or not. Probably is, but... So, yeah, like right here. It's like right on top of the friggin' ground. And I mean, they're not all like that. I mean, a lot of it just has to do with this trash that's down here. But I'm seeing more kernels above the ground than I'd like to, for sure. And that was not the case with that field over there. So I know it has to do with the residue. and just how rough this field is. This was the rough one that I just killed myself discing up. So yeah, I'm gonna mark it at the end here, and I'll just replant from here down, go from there. Okay, so gonna have to get some parts. So what I did was, so that came off the sprocket, obviously. So I basically took the tensioner apart, put that back together, and then this tensioner usually goes underneath the chain, and that's what pulls it. I put the tensioner on top of the chain, take the slack out, because this must have stretched. So if this is pushing up on it, and even the way I have it set up, I'm gonna have to fix that, because there's like no tension on that at all. So I'm gonna have to figure out where to hook the spring to. Might be able to, I don't know, run something off of there so it's pulling that way, so I have a little more tension, so I don't mess with this again. But started running it, and none of this was spinning. Come to find out, I blew the shear bolts. That one there still kicked in. I think when I blew this one over here, it pushed the gear off to the side. So that one is still good. The one on that side is totally sheared. I have what's left of the stud for that. So I'm gonna go get some new ones. But it's like 6:30, and I got an hour ride home, and I'm supposed to do stuff with the wife tonight. So this is gonna sit for a couple days. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. So I'll come back. We got rain coming tomorrow, supposedly, so I ended up emptying all the hoppers, so I have the seat in the truck, because I don't trust this not to get wet. So maybe the day after tomorrow I'll come back down, and we'll go from there. So TJ got a drone, so he was doing some overhead shots, so I'm going to see if I can include that in this video. It depends on when he gets them to me. He got some drone footage of me chisel plowing too. I don't really know where I'm going to put that in, because I didn't make a video of me chisel plowing. Maybe I'll throw it in this video. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Man, like, another thing I did too, because there's still seed I'm seeing up top here. I adjusted the press wheels. I'll show you that too. I raised them up. I'm not sure. I got to look in the manual. I thought the press wheels, basically how you would, wherever you adjusted them was how far down they'd push the seed. But I think on this setup, the higher, basically the row unit only goes down as far as the press wheel allows it to. So I raised the press wheel up so that that'll drop down and I'll increase the seed depth. Is how I think that works. So that's what I did. I haven't had a chance to test it yet, because I did it over there and this was all blown apart. So I'm gonna have to play with the adjustment on that just to get it down a little deeper. Last year it was fine, and over there it was fine, but just because of how much trash there is in this field, I got to make that adjustment. So about halfway done with this field, and then okay, it's the next day. So I don't remember where I left off. I ended up breaking the shear bolts for this pin, this shaft right here. I grabbed some from work, and they're actually too short. I jammed them in there anyway, and they're pinched. They're not going to fall out. So I think we're good there. I think I touched on this. I threw the tensioner up on top of the chain instead of pushing up from the bottom. That seems to be working so far. I also adjusted these the other night. I had that backwards. You're supposed to raise the press wheels up so that sits down farther. Since I've done that, there's no seeds at all on the ground. So I'm gonna, now that there was a ton over there that, you know, from what I hit yesterday that are above the ground, there's definitely some more than I'd like to see, but it's not awful. If need be, I have extra seed at the house, so I can certainly replant it if need be. But I'm gonna run this setup for a while. I should be able to get this field done, and definitely I'm hoping I'll get that one there done as well tonight. Made it into the next field down. This one here shouldn't take too long. I think it's like just shy of 2 acres. And you know, this one here is going much easier. You can clearly see the row left from the marker. So it's super easy to follow along. It's not nearly as much crash in this field. It's a lot smoother. So it's going pretty well. I did adjust the depth. I brought it up a little bit just so we're not planting so deep. We're about 2 inches, maybe 2.5. So I'm good with that. So as long as all this keeps up and the rain holds off, which it seems like it's gonna, stop misting. So should be in good shape for tonight. And then we still have to disc Old Mill Lane, that 5-acre piece, the other end of town. Still have to disc that. Once we get that done, throw the fertilizer down, finish discing it, and then run this setup down there and start planting. And then I'll keep the planter over at Escobar's for a little while just to make sure everything's coming up nice and you don't have to replant it. So, made sure to cut the corner a little bit early. It's pretty damn wet over there. Finished up. So that field down there was pretty smooth going. Because there's no trash on it, I was able to see the marker nice and easy. I didn't have to worry about seed depth because I wasn't trying to fight through the trash on the ground. Pretty smooth sailing. You know, night and day difference in this one here. You can still see all the root matter, you know, all here and everything else. Like I said before, the problem with this field was because the grass was never taken off like the other 2 fields here. I was basically plowing all the grass, all the tall grass that I mowed into the ground. And because it was all broadleaf, you know, all these roots, you know, I didn't give them enough time to break down, I guess. So I was trying to disc over all that, and it was just a nightmare. Even so, this field here, even after discing it, you know, twice, once with that heavy harrow that I brought down, it's still pretty rough, and that's kind of what fought me a good chunk of the time. Looking through here, I mean, there's some seeds sticking above the ground. Like I said, it's not bad. Honestly, I was worried about it, but the more I walk around, you know, I feel a little bit better. It's only in certain spots. And I know it did it to me last year, and I had a good stand of corn last year. But you know, I got seed left over, so if need be, I can go back and replant. Not a huge deal, so it won't take me too long if it does come to that. But and that field there was a piece of cake. You know, I ran into the issue with the seed plate, but that wasn't a huge deal. We're just gonna have a pretty good population in the first half of that field. So I'm going to, I don't know, it's starting to rain a little bit more, and I don't have the pliers I need to break this thing. Usually what I do is I already have I got a bar in there to keep it from dropping down, to get the pressure off the hydraulics. But usually what I'll do is I pull this drive chain off on both sides in case that clutch fails while I'm going down the road, you know, 15 miles an hour, whatever that thing tops out at. It doesn't try to engage everything if the clutch fails. So it's just a fail-safe that I do every time I do any road running with it. Just I pull the master apart, but what sucks is you got to kind of have it like up here to get the pin out. So I guess I'll do that later. That's not a huge deal. I kind of just want to go home and eat dinner. But that's like I said, that's a job for another day. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.